Hello everybody, this is SB, also known as Mr. Google, and today I am going to bring a video with some news and gameplay about the Command and Conquer game. Well, I have some good news. If you haven't seen my previous video, the game was cancelled. Victory Games was working on this game underneath EA, Electronic Arts, but it got closed due to the lack of, people didn't want to play this game, or that at least that was their argument. I disagree on that, but for now I have some good news. They closed the game, but they're starting it up again. It's not clear yet who is going to do this, but unofficially people are talking about Bioware Studios taking over this game. And well, why is that? I will try to explain. For example, if you need support for the previous Command & Conquer game, the game that just has been cancelled not so long ago. For example, if you bought something in game, so to say, some premium points or the premium, well, Victory Games does not handle that at this time, but it is Bioware Studios which is currently handling the support for the Command & Conquer free-to-play game. I will also place links down in the description for people who might want to give it a look themselves. If there is more official news, I will place that in my description or in my comments, but for now let's jump to a gameplay I recorded a while ago. It's going to be GLA versus GLA PvP online gameplay. I will be using the Junkyard General and my opponent is also using the Junkyard General. In the end it will be a fine match. He will surrender because I overwhelm him, but let's get into the game. I will start off with my war factory, so I have early access to vehicles, and I will also build the command center to keep my base off the radar a little bit easier, so he cannot use his player powers as well in that same area around my command center. And he cannot see my expansions. What I will try to do is I will keep on scouting my enemy. I will build a few technicals. I think it's 2. After I build 2 technicals, I will send them to his base just to harass him and see what he is up to and what units he is going for. I see he is building a salvage bay and not going for the command center, so that will probably mean he is going to build tanks. We will see later on if I'm correct on that, but for now I'll just keep on scouting and try to expand, take over an oil derrick and all of the other good stuff, so at least I can have an economical advantage, for example. Well, I'm really curious how the future of this game will end up and how long it will take, for example. I really hope it doesn't take that long for the new developers and the new studio to get a good new CNC game working. I hope it doesn't take a year or 2 or something like that, so we can start off from scratch all over again. The feeling of this game was, in my opinion, very well balanced. In my opinion, it was certainly going the correct way. They implemented a lot of patches, and especially in the latest patches, the early October patch, for example, was the best patch in my opinion. They addressed a lot of issues, a lot of stability, and also general balance in my opinion. It wasn't all there yet, of course, it was still alpha and it is still alpha, but I am really curious what it will bring in the future. And at this point I expanded my base, take over a few extra oil derricks, sent in the extra technicals just to harass my opponent with his GLA workers, so I could get a little bit more money to spend than him, so to say. At this point I also saw he was using Marauder tanks, so that will require me to build a counter to that. My counter to that will be building or taking over extra oil derricks and also building a few extra Marauder tanks, which will work fairly well in just a little bit. To build my Marauder tanks I need the salvage bay, which will also be able to heal my tanks when they're not in combat. So far it's working fairly well. I noticed he had only about 1 tank and not really more than just that. This buys me some time to produce a little bit more units than my opponent. One thing I really like to say is, if you haven't watched my previous CNC video, I'm talking not about the cancellation video, the cancellation of CNC, but my video with the infamous GLA strategy using the tunnel networks. It is or was quite overpowered. I don't know what the future will do with that once the game got started up again and the developers decide to implement new techniques or strategies and so on, because it might just change around and it will turn into a non-free-to-play game, or maybe it will stay a free-to-play game. But in the end, it's EA, you never know what they're up to, so time will learn or tell us what will happen with this game. I'm still excited. I haven't played it as much after it got officially cancelled, but in the end this means that there will come a new Generals or a new CNC game, which is a good thing. So let's hang on to that and be skeptical, but look forward to the future of CNC in general as a whole. And let's hope they will also still expand to the Red Alert universe and perhaps the Tiberium universe, or maybe even the Dune universe. That might be something they could use as well. At this moment in the gameplay, my opponent sent out a few of his tanks, a few of his units, also with artillery. They're pretty powerful, and the blinging thing on the screen right over there is his extra player power, which will cost him CP points. And even if you don't use them, they will deduct your bonus points at the end of the match if you haven't used your player power over there. Those specific arsenal perks were added late on in the closed alpha, if you haven't seen that or heard that before in my previous videos. But my opponent doesn't have a lot of firepower at this moment, so I decided to build an extra supply stash, so I'm able to build more units than I am doing as of now. My opponent was able to destroy a few of my Oeroderics and harass me, but he forgot to build extra units or firepower. He only has 1 or 2 Oeroderics as of now and expanded in high tech, which cost him a lot of money. I haven't teched up quite as much, so I have the economical advantage. My opponent discovers that. This video is coming to an end. I have recorded multiple online PvP matches, a few wins, a few losses. One of them is a 30 minutes long gameplay. I start off fairly well and I'll struggle with my opponent, and my opponent is struggling with me. In the end I did lose the match, but it was an exciting match. So if you guys really want to see that, I could upload that on my next video. Please let me know in the comments down below if you guys want to see that specific gameplay. It might be interesting, but for now, thank you for watching. Please leave a like down below, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos, and I'll hope to see you next time.